up to that.
Up till that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn it down a little bit. Okay. Good.
Good evening, everyone.
Yes,
We're happy to have your participation in this evening's activities. We'll start off by introducing Mr. Randy Pankratz, who is subbing tonight.
Thank you for having me. I'm here for Reese Hebert.
Yeah.
He's in Colorado on vacation and he'll be back next week.
thank you for coming out.
Well,
Reese is not your man.
well, he is, yeah. I think a lot of them.
Oh, okay.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if we can, stand and pledge allegiance to the flag.
Guess we need flag first, don't we?
Oh, sorry. I looked that up earlier. Oh, God.
As recreation, we've been meeting in the other room.
Oh, I see, okay, yeah.
But attendance had fallen off to the point that we can move it back.
Oh, okay.
Over there. Watch it, it'll fall out. That's okay.
Thanks to walk them in.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order. Would you call the roll, please?
Yes. Earl.
Here.
Jerry.
Here.
Christina. Here. Rhonda. Here. Mary. Here. Scott.
Here.
Do I hear a motion to accept the agenda as written?
I'd like to add maybe, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes for us to kind of go in executive session and discuss. 20, I think. Yeah, we'll just, I don't think it'll take that long. Let's plan on, say, 20 minutes for discuss elected and non-elected personnel.
Where do you want that? Are you- Number 11?
Let's do it at 12 and change the rest to 15.
After the public forum,
Yes.
11A.
So 20 minutes. Yeah.
I second the motion for 20-minute executive session after the public forum.
Do I hear a second?
I second that.
There's been a motion made and seconded to have a executive session for approximately 20 minutes. Position 11A. All those in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to approve the agenda as written. All those in favor?
Aye.
I hear a motion to, for the approval of the consent agenda.
Make a motion to consent.
Do we have to read the minutes first? We have to go through the ideas, do everything, and then
Minutes.
approve.
Okay.
I guess I can. You want me to do both?
I imagine we have to do both.
Or do
We
you?
have to do everything on there, A, B, C, and D.
Well, no, I have both meetings, so I didn't know.
Yes.
The monthly and the special.
Chronologically, yeah.
So this is the regular scheduled meeting. Earl Maltby, Mayor, called the city council meeting to order at 6:32 p.m., June 13th, 2024. Other members present were Jerry Kremeyer, Rhonda Hamby, Wendy Broughton, Mary Jowers, and Scott Layfield. Also in attendance were Morgan, City Clerk, Aaron Barnett, Assistant City Clerk, Reese Hebert, City Attorney, Scott Lloyd, Accountant, and several residents. Jerry Kremeyer moved to approve the agenda as presented and was seconded by Scott Layfield, passed unanimously. Minutes from May 9th, 2024 were read. No motion was made to approve at this time. Jerry Kremeyer moved to approve April and May 2024 financial statements, was seconded by Scott Layfield. Motion passed unanimously. Kim Witt spoke about beautification committee reports or projects, including banners for Main Street and flower pots. Carla Ham and Chelsea Hill spoke about Rural Champion Development grant opportunity. Information included funding requirements and office and equipment needs. Application due June 30th for revision opportunity. Final deadline July 31st. City attorney will review. Scott Layfield asked for a comprehensive plan of the grant if awarded. Earl Maltby, Mayor, called for public forum input. Steve P. asked for YouTube link posted to city website for easier council meeting video access. Dan Smith requested look into fireworks sale and discharge ordinance, would like July 1 through 5. Scott Lloyd presented on city budget, discussed 6-month reserve, interest income, CDs, will review assessed value report when available, discuss capital improvement fund, possibly 5-year plan. Discuss city burn site, having a monthly burn weather permitting as part of a maintenance department schedule. Mayor Earl Maltby discussed having a restriction on size of limbs allowed and rules for this to be posted at site. Kansas Gas franchise renewal was discussed. City Council will discuss with Scott Lloyd. Renewal will be held over until next meeting. Property at 306 North Main Street was discussed. Property is unsightly and creating hazards. City attorney will look into lien through the state and the next steps for the city. The Friends of Canton would like to deed the old museum building on McPherson Street back to the city. The city attorney will look into this. Mark Barnett, Chief of Police, not present for report. Code enforcement officer should be hired by Mark and is already approved for 8 hours weekly. Nick Miller, not present for report. Scott Layfield discussed street sweeper repair versus replace and utilization discussed. Rhonda Hamby asked about pothole repair. Fairview was worked on today per Scott Layfield. Mary Jowers talked about road grading on North Kansas. Mayor Earl Maltby said street repair will be conducted in the order of the streets that need the least work first. Mary Jowers mentioned being out of the loop, would like notified by council. Mentioned not talking about other council members negatively to the community. Rhonda Hamby mentioned Mimi Craig is doing spectacular at the pool. Thanks to Canton Locker for donating hot dogs for opening day. American Legion donated a new flag. Scott Layfield repaired a light. Shade cover donated and being placed. It was mentioned the water continues to be cloudy despite warm temperatures. Jerry Kremeyer mentioned reviewing job descriptions and personnel policies. He recommended council members read over and mark wanted changes to bring to next meeting. Mentioned mechanics lien opposed to tax expense for city expenses in reference to property needs. City attorney will review. Scott Layfield had no additional comments or concerns. Wendy Broughton read a resignation letter. She then left the meeting. Earl Maltby, mayor, had no additional concerns or comments. Scott Layfield made a motion to adjourn the meeting and Jerry Kramer seconded. Jerry motioned to rescind the adjournment and Scott Layfield seconded. Attention was turned back to approving finances. Jerry Kramer motioned to adjourn the meeting and Scott Layfield seconded. Meeting adjourned at 9:06 p.m. Special meeting to discuss budget with Scott Lloyd will be planned. Next council meeting will be July 11, 2024 at 6:30 p.m. We need to approve that one first and then do this one.
I would say so.
Okay.
I hear a motion to approve the minutes of June 13th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes of the June 13th meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh, yeah, so I just, did you see? Okay, that's okay. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, the motion.
Scott, motion. Jerry, seconded. It was unanimous.
Special meeting was June 24th, 2024. Mayor Earl Maltby led Pledge of Allegiance. Earl Maltby, mayor, called the city council special meeting to order at 6:08 p.m. June 24th, 2024. Other members present were Scott Layfield, Jerry Kramer, Rhonda Hamby, Mary Jowers, also in attendance, Morgan Morgan, city clerk, and Aaron Barnett, assistant city clerk. Road update and drainage was added to the agenda as item 7 by Scott Layfield. Jerry Kramer moved to approve the agenda with addition of item 7 and was seconded by Scott Layfield. Motion passed unanimously. Christina Smith was appointed to city council to replace open seat left by Wendy Broughton. Motion was made by Jerry Kramer and seconded by Scott Layfield. Motion passed unanimously. Appointment of council duties were made. Jerry Kramer appointed to president and finance. Motion made by Scott Layfield and seconded by Rhonda Hamby. Motion passed unanimously. Rhonda Hamby was appointed to parks and pool operations. Included was authority over pool hours and employees. Motion was made by Jerry Kramer and seconded by Scott Layfield. Motion passed unanimously. Scott Layfield was appointed to streets and alleys and drainage. Motion was made by Rhonda Hamby and seconded by Jerry Kramer. Motion passed unanimously. Christina Smith was appointed to fire board to include EMS and law enforcement. Motion was made by Scott Layfield and seconded by Jerry Kramer. Motion passed unanimously. Mary Jowers was appointed to codes and animal control. Motion was made by Jerry Kramer and seconded by Scott Layfield. Motion passed unanimously. Aaron Barnett was appointed as permanent part-time city clerk and approved at $18 per hour, 25 to 30 hours per week. We'll look into capers and other benefits and approve at next meeting. Motion was made by Scott Layfield and seconded by Jerry Kramer. Motion passed unanimously. City Ordinance 7-303, discharge of fireworks, was amended from July 3rd through July 5th for the hours of 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. to allow discharge 2 days prior through 1 day post-holiday for the hours of 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Motion was made by Scott Layfield and seconded by Rhonda Hamby. Motion passed unanimously. Scott Layfield updated on roads and drainage. He states they're looking into drainage at Railroad and First. He discussed potential plan to regrind 2nd Street. He is talking with Sean Wilson of Wilson Dirt Works. It was brought up that cold patch is not good for long-term use. The city does not have equipment to do hot fills. Rhonda Hamby questioned the use of personal side-by-side while on city time. She states this could be a liability as it is not covered by city insurance. Pool hours and staffing was discussed. Cutting staffing during the days and increasing hours to be open later were both discussed. It was brought to attention that staff scheduling could be limited due to sports and school conflicts. Rhonda and Mimi would discuss with lifeguards. Water operator certification requirements were discussed. Nick Miller was not in attendance. Council states Nick needs to take the next upcoming test in August. Morgan discussed changing payroll from bi-monthly to bi-weekly. Schedule for pay period and pay dates will be brought to the next meeting. Scott Lloyd discussed budget. Banking rate should be higher percentage for interest. Discussed moving funds into CDs. Could move money from general fund to a capital fund. To be eligible for grant money, city water rates need to be in the top 50% for state average. Rhonda Hamby motion to move $100,000 from Citizens Bank into CD for 11 months. Seconded by Scott Layfield. Motion passed unanimously. Scott Layfield motion to move $250,000 from State Bank of Camden to CD for 9 months. Jerry Krameyer seconded. Motion passed unanimously. Rhonda Hamby made a motion to adjourn the meeting and Mary Jowers seconded. Motion passed unanimously. Meeting adjourned at 7:57 p.m.
I will make one change to that actually, or addition. We negotiated to get $200,000 CDs from Citizens State Bank.
2 CDs for 200. Is that what you said?
Two
Or just
CDs at 100,000 each.
each? Okay.
$250,000 from State Bank and $200,000 units from Citizens. We would anticipate one more $100,000 CD in the future, probably September. And maybe as many as 2 more $250,000 CDs from State Bank. The existing CDs that we have at Citizens were at 1.9%. The fund that we use at State Bank of Canton, or shall we say, rolling funds. In other words, they're our everyday operational funds. And that was, what was that?
At the state bank, it was $1,200,000.
$1,200,000. They had that $1,200,000 at 9%, at 0.9%. And we upped that to 5%. I was very concerned, and Rhonda can tell, my concern was that I wanted to know what swing that is, high to low, in our operational day-to-day operation. If I knew what that was, which wasn't really coming forth very easily, if I knew what that was, we may go as high as $250,000 CDs that we could draw interest on. But that's yet to be seen. If they won't, we'll go someplace else if we can.
We just definitely got some better rates going for our money.
And those were 9-month CDs.
11 months at Citizens and 9 months.
State Bank.
State. Okay.
Okay? That way y'all know, all right?
And we have 2 others coming off, one in August and one in September, so we'll decide at that point if we go back and invest that.
That would be
In
the
future
third $100,000 CD.
So it's kind of nice to have them rotating off at different times, because if you do come into a position where you need those funds, you know, that's what Scott Lloyd said.
Yeah.
So I'm basing that on his remarks, and hopefully we've got kind of a rotating system going forward, so better interest rates for sure. that hadn't been looked at in a while, so.
So did we, I'm sorry, I should have done that time, but I thought I should know. We approved the minutes for the 13th.
Yes.
Did we approve the minutes for the 25th? May I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve the amendments for June 25th
As amended.
as amended.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes as amended for the June 25th meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approval of the warrants.
Have the list of-
What I got. So this one is the one that needs.
Pass that around. We can all read this, we can keep going, we can skip over this till D.
Okay,
Next one, the other reports.
payroll and,
I don't have payroll reconciled. I haven't gone over that with Anita yet.
okay. How about the June financial statement?
I have, well, I have these statements. I don't have the banking statement, because I haven't climbed through it yet either. So I just have.
Okay, we will get
So do we want to approve this?
We have to amend it.
What do you have there?
I have the statement of cash receipts and the budget statement, and then the expenditure that is broken down.
You see what you have.
There's one for everybody, I just didn't make it to the. There's one for each.
that's consolidated.
Well, the one that's stapled has to be signed. That one's more in-depth, and then this one's kind of a summary. And then there's two. Okay, Earl asked me to print them for everybody, so I printed them, but we can go back over it. I have them, but Mary Jane hasn't signed anything, so I wanted to have everything approved first.
Do we want to go ahead and move on? Can we move on, or do we need to approve this?
We'll need to approve this so that Mary Jane can sign, which is going to be distributed. Prior to our approval, they can't be distributed. So the signature is going to be on the staple sheet that Earl's has,
Yes.
correct?
That one is a summary, and this one is more detailed. They're the same report.
But that's the one we need to sign.
Yes.
Water-wise enterprise, what was that?
That's our chemical for, I don't know if it's for drinking water or for the wells.
For the wells?
We get it every month.
Okay.
It's like sodium, phosphate, chloride, chlorine, sorry. I was close. But they charge us for the chemical, and then they charge us a delivery fee, 'cause it comes in big 55-gallon drum.
Gotcha. Yeah,
So
I've been out there, I know it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
years. Just.
Right. If you can't do all of it though, you have to do each one individually. Sorry. One day I'll be caught up.
So we can't approve the financial statements?
No, or payroll, because they're not finished. I haven't reconciled payroll with Anita yet, that's something we haven't gotten. So I'll have a couple of months.
We approved the minutes already.
Yes, we did.
So-
We just have to approve the warrant.
And then in here somewhere.
And then next month, no, that's just all,
Oh,
this report is
just,
more detailed of that.
So we don't have warrants?
It shows what fund everything comes out of. Okay. It's just, like, each check is listed on the other printout, and that one has the fund. The funds it comes out.
So do we need a motion on the warrant?
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the warrants.
Second that.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the warrants as shown. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
What do we need to do on the payroll once these guys get paid for first approval for that?
It's just reconciling payroll and then approving that everything matches, but I haven't been able to reconcile with Anita yet.
So we will leave that in your capable hands.
I hope. And Anita.
Sure you will. Okay. Let's start off with Rita and the Heritage Days.
We have to approve the consent agenda as amended.
No. Okay. Does anybody have any idea what that is?
We'll be approving the consent agenda without the approval of the payroll because it's not reconciled,
4D.
and the financial statement because it's not quite ready. So basically, it will be items A and B, and we'll strike C and D from the consent agenda.
I thought we approved each one individually, but.
We have thus far.
We have,
Yeah.
but we can't approve C and D, so we're going to remove them from the
Okay,
consent agenda.
let's make the motion
I make a motion to amend the consent agenda by removing C and D, striking those.
Second that.
Well, those will have to be approved.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Table to the next meeting.
Table, yes.
Okay.
So do we have a motion to do that?
Motion to table, item C and D on the consent agenda to the next meeting.
Do I hear a second?
Jerry second.
Jerry, second.
Second.
Okay. Motion has been made and seconded to table items A, or C and D of the consent agenda until the next meeting. All those in favor?
Aye.
Now, true.
Approval of consent agenda, motion to approve the consent agenda as modified.
We approved each item.
Oh, we did do that, okay.
Move on to Rita.
Heritage Days.
I'm here.
Okay.
Hey.
Hi, I'm Rita Grevel, and I'm here representing Heritage Days for Terry because he's on the road, as always. And Heritage Days is Saturday, September 28th. And a lot of the daily activities will happen at the Canton City Park as normal. Some activities will be the Rick Farnsworth memorial car show, cornhole tournament, food vendors, and we've got some great entertainment set up. So, just to name a few. Our request tonight is to ask the mayor and city council to approve and permit alcohol in the park. And that's why I'm here. Thank you.
Will they say or this consumption?
We don't think there's gonna be any sale in the park. It's just that people can bring in what they want. So far, that's the way it was. We thought about contacting the new liquor store owners to see if they wanted to set up something, but, from past experiences, those vendors don't really make a big profit, so it's not worth their while to do that. So that's kind of where we're at with that. So,
Any issues, Mike?
It's just kind of what it's always been.
Has it been all alcohol or limited to beer and wine?
I believe it's been all alcohol, if I remember right. And the only issue we ever had was just a fellow that was a little intoxicated, fell in a hole. So, but I've been addressed, so.
that damn Terry.
Okay, what were the dates?
September 28th. And this is for the park only. I think Keith has got some issues that he wants to talk to you about a Main Street dance, but that's not my detail there, so.
We got enough time, so.
Yeah.
We'll make a motion to approve consumption of alcohol at the car show, Heritage Day at the Old Park on September 28th.
Second the motion.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the consumption of alcoholic beverages in the park on Heritage Days, the 29th of September. All those in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
The Canton Carnegie Library request.
My name's Caitlin Sudby, and I'm here on part of the Canton Carnegie Library. Over the summer, we've had patio parties once a month. And for the last party, it will be on August 2nd. Last year what we did is we had Main Street blocked off from Allen to Osage, so just that one block. The firefighters set up like a sprinkler system. We have a bounce house that we put in the old grocery store parking lot. There'll be hot dogs that we serve, and then a snow cone truck. So we were just asking if we could have permission to block Main Street off again for that.
What hours would that be? You have any idea?
I check. I think it's usually 7. Let me check.
See any concerns or anything, Mark, without the time? Without the
Nope.
times?
We did the same thing last year. It actually turned out really good for the kids, kept everybody safe, so.
Where'd you put your snow cone truck?
We put it on the side. We put it on Allen Street, right next to the library. So
You had power to operate it there? Was there power to plug in that machine?
Or did they bring?
it was a truck.
I
think
think
they
It was like a food truck type thing.
Yeah.
They were self-contained then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
We'll get to my issue later.
Uh-oh, okay.
We'll move on and then come back to Kate.
Yeah, sorry.
Once she gets some time to figure it out.
Do you remember the times, Mark, that was in operation?
Usually our patio parties start at 7, but, I mean, of course, so we usually show a movie afterwards, but not at this time, so I guess it would just be 7 until dark, or before dark probably would be safest,
7 to 9,
probably.
yeah, 9:30.
Do 9:30.
7 in the
Does
morning.
it start at 7, so you need the road blocked off before?
Yeah, we probably need it blocked off before so that the firefighters can set up the sprinkler system. Because that's mostly what's in the road, but since kids are walking back and forth, it's just really nice to have a whole section blocked off.
I'd say 5
Like between 5 and 6.
Yeah, I
To
think
block
that
it off,
would be
because
fine.
that would give you ample time to get done whatever you need, a little bit extra if you needed it.
Yeah.
Mark?
Now, really? Yeah, fire department's pretty quick on getting their little thing set up.
Okay,
But yeah, I'll help with that. All the kids are still gonna be running around, so.
6 to 9:30
9:30 p.m.
PM, yeah.
Make a motion to block off Main Street from 2nd to Allen on August 2nd from 0700 to, 7 a.m. to 9:30 p.m.
Or Allen,
So-
is it city?
PM.
Yeah.
Or 6
We want
p.m.
1800.
6 p.m.
6
6 p.m.
To 9:30.
Yeah.
I thought we were doing
I
it
mean,
all
we're
day.
finishing
Well, we can if you want. I know you want to play with the sprinklers, we'll give you some more time.
I won't be.
Oh, darn it.
So 1800
So,
1800 to 2130 on August. Let me start over on that.
1800, that's me,
2130. I thought it
This
was all
is
day.
afternoon or morning we're talking about?
Evening.
Evening.
So you want 7 p.m.,
No, 6.
6
6 p.m., sorry, that's 1800, my bad, 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m.,
Yes.
correct?
Make a motion to block off Main Street from Allen to Osage on August 2nd from 1800 to 2130.
Allen to Osage and back to 2nd Street, correct?
No, it's on Main Street, so it's
Okay.
only from Main
We're
Street.
not blocking off in front of the library.
No.
Okay.
I'll second that.
That's seconded.
A motion's been made and seconded to allow the blocking off of Main Street from Allen to Osage from 1800 to 2130. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Someone has a note here about planning and zoning,
Are you skipping
No, you
over?
skip.
I want to get to the.
cleaning of the office.
Yeah, that's before.
That's the important one, yeah.
I want
Rhonda,
us to make
Rhonda
a.
knows, she's been doing
Yes, I've been
it.
cleaning, I'm not gonna clean anymore. I wanna make a motion somewhere in this to get us another cleaning lady person set up for the offices and the community center in this room. We've been without for a while and I've been filling in and
Who was doing it before? Was it-
She quit due to health reasons.
was it
I'm quitting due to health reasons.
Anybody know of anybody?
Well, we need to place an ad.
I'd be willing to do
Excuse me,
it.
we got a girl right there.
Okay.
We have,
We got a girl right there.
Gotta place an ad, but apply then.
we have some
Okay.
applications from previous too.
Okay, but please
Okay.
put your
Yeah,
ad.
yeah.
in.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
we'll
That'd
place
be
that.
great.
So is that something, we usually put it out
My,
in Facebook page posts, maybe?
Well, if we put it on a community page and put it also in
Make a flyer.
the Santa Fe Way.
I would post it on the door.
Yeah.
Well, I would hope that we would get one hired before the Santa Fe Way is published again, because that's in like over a month.
Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah, like we just got one, like
Oh, wow.
a couple days ago.
So if we don't get any results, then we can go to the
Then you
paper.
can, but I wouldn't like
Okay.
not hire somebody till we get it in the Santa Fe way, because
So
then Rhonda's
if we
gonna
put it on
have to clean it
our
again.
city
A lot.
webpage,
Please.
city webpage, the
I'm gonna
Facebook
pass
community
it
site,
down.
and on the door.
Yeah, we can make flyers and hang it up at Casey's.
Well, we already
There you
have
go.
one here in
There you
attendance,
go.
it's
Yeah,
exactly.
filling, so.
There you go.
I saw her hand.
So if we could please get something published and moving on that, I would appreciate it.
I will do that tomorrow.
Do we need to do it?
Let me ask if I could. I would assume that we could establish that this individual would clean the offices up here twice a week. The same individual,
I don't know what they did before.
I don't
I would think once.
Once,
I did
yeah,
it for a
once would
while.
be-
Oh, yeah, I did it for a while, and it was every time after somebody rented the community
know. That's a
building,
community building.
you had to do it, and then it was I would check to make sure it was fine, but you really did a deep clean once a month, one of the times that you were in here. We can change out the toilet paper roll, we don't need those, the community center people don't do that, so it's locked. So, that's how it was done when I did it.
Yeah, does anybody know what we paid previously?
$15 an hour.
15 an hour.
And it usually took, depending on if you had to mop, and you can tell if you have to mop, anywhere from an hour and a half. So it wasn't you're not gonna drop $60 every time somebody rents the community building, because in that case, we need to up the price of that, so.
So
usually
how
about an
often
hour.
were the city offices cleaned when you did that?
Once a month. You would come in, so like after council, you'd want to vacuum, make sure there wasn't anything, and then check the bathroom, wipe down the bathroom. We never touched anything over there.
Once a month or something?
Yeah. Yeah, because honestly,
Don't get
Morgan
used.
uses the toilet. I use the toilet. It's
It's
not a
more
public
like
restroom.
sweep, mop, windows, like the more deep clean kind of stuff, like I can wipe the counter.
Yeah, so, and I
Yeah.
would just check the windows, if the windows were dirty, I did those. If they needed twice a month because it rained and whatever like that, that's when you do it. It wasn't really like a set, this is what you do this time, this is what you did this time, it was, this is what needs to be done, do it if it needs to be done, don't do it if it doesn't.
So other than that, you would just clean the community building,
After usage.
and, shall we say.
Before the
after-
next-
after
and it didn't have to
each
be
and
this-
every usage.
Yeah.
As required.
No, each and every usage.
Okay.
Yeah. And it didn't have to be the next day, it just needed to be before the next one, which there's a book, and I would just look at the book and say, oh shoot, I got a week, or, so.
All it asks is whoever does.
That's why we're in here tonight, we haven't cleaned it.
All it asks is whoever does
For the
the
job.
interviews or whatever, we're descriptive about what we are doing.
That's right.
And
Morgan
our
make a list of
Right.
what
That way, we don't have somebody selected that, oh man, you want all this done, I don't have the time
Right,
to
right.
for it. So just be
You
very.
wanna kinda make a list, I'll kinda make a list.
Yeah, 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 that's good.
Okay.
Thank you. And Morgan, we're just gonna give you something, cause, no, I'm just kidding.
We can move on then.
Okay, we'll move on to the next item, which is planning and zoning committee, which we don't have.
Yeah, but we need to get one. We're supposed to have one. Yeah, so Case is the only one on that right now, so I think we need to get some more bodies, because I do know we need to have that established.
How many are we?
There was five,
There was five.
five of them. So,
Could be 3, could be 5.
so,
On how much interest we have. Just how many people.
So can we go ahead and maybe post that as well to see if we get interest? We have a Facebook page, if we're gonna be putting out flyers, we can do the same for that as well.
Yeah.
And get interest.
interest, yeah. Like Case is the only one on it right now. The other four no longer live here.
I mean, we have a lot of available talent and smarts in our
Yes.
community, so we need to let them know, and they can volunteer, or be a part of it, they will.
Yep, but that's something we need to have, for sure.
Yes. I agree. And who is going to take care of publicizing this?
I can,
Yeah, we'll just make a note and hang it up at the same time.
if Mary will answer my questions.
Yeah.
I'll find whatever I
Yeah,
need to know.
or Kate can, yeah.
Number 8, ATVs, golf cart.
That was me.
It's okay.
I just really think we need to revisit this. I don't know. We've got motorcycles going down our road, dirt bikes. We've got 3-wheelers going down our road, standing up, them doing wheelies in the dip like they did last weekend. I guess my biggest pet peeve is the golf carts and little kids on them. There's no restraints on there. You're talking little kids, little 2-year-old, 3-year-old kids that are on these vehicles. We had one about almost pull out in front of me in Case going down Kansas. There was 7 people on that golf cart that seats 4. To me, that's a problem. You got little kids on there. You cannot tell me you can hold on to these children if a car would fly out. Your child is not gonna stay on your lap. It's not gonna stay mushed in between. You know what I'm saying? I know Case had talked to a gentleman who is on council in Marquette, and on their golf carts, if they're under a certain age, they have to have a seatbelt on. They have to be secured in there. If it seats 4, then 4 people on it. But I'm telling you, there were 7 individuals in this golf cart, and if this person would have pulled out in front of us, Mark, it would not have been a good deal.
That's when it's something that the city's gonna have to review the ordinance for it and make some changes to it.
Yeah.
What does the ordinance currently say? You know, off the top of your head?
No.
And as far as the driving part and stuff, they have to be 16 years of age.
Yeah,
Yeah.
driving, they have to have a valid
Okay.
driver's license.
Okay.
As for dirt bikes are not allowed
Well,
on city
this
streets.
little sneaky person, I'm
And
telling you,
where
he's
they're coming
coming,
from,
he's
or-
coming from outside the town.
Okay.
And he comes in and he flies by, and then he'll go through, jump that little dip. I don't know if he's going out there, like in Tyler's area where he has his business, but then he just, that's all he did. I was like going, and then the 3-wheeler, I think is from Grove Street.
Okay.
But Case has a picture of him.
There's one over on First Street.
Yeah, well,
They-
anyway,
they
who's ever doing it
continuously tear
is
up
literally
stuff on First
standing up. Case got a picture of him on our ring camera, so if you would like to see that,
Yeah.
just
I
so,
think that's-
just
so
so
I
you
can see
know.
what it is.
But he's literally standing on it, and, I mean,
These-
these people are gonna get hurt.
Are
But
these-
were you able to see if there was a tag on the back of it?
I was just gonna ask, do we still have the tag?
There's,
You still
I
have
did
to do the
not,
tag stuff.
I did not see
Do
a
you,
tag on
do
the
you know
back
how
of
many I
this.
see running around that
It's,
don't
that do
have a
not
tag?
have them,
Well, but if
yes.
you're coming in from out of town, then you don't have to have one.
Yeah, it's like,
then
so
there's a lot of
farmers and
people.
stuff like that, since they don't live in the community, don't have to have them, the way the city ordinance is. But they're in the community, using in the community, then they
I
have to
see
have
them
a tag.
parked in town that don't have them,
Yeah,
sitting
and
in the
then,
yard.
and then there's a go-kart, I'm not sure where they're coming from now, but it was older people. Case saw them twice, and I don't know if he got a picture or not.
Maybe we need to post.
For, you know, I've got mine tagged and it's insured, if I gotta do it, shouldn't everybody have to do it?
Absolutely.
There was some that were going down Main Street, like, they're on the board, but right past my house, and they were, almost like they were towing one another.
Yes,
In a frame.
yes.
And I was
Well,
like, what in the world?
well,
They just had the thing packed full of people.
yeah, they come down in our
They came
area
right
too.
past
That
my
would,
house.
And your
But
golf
I'm-
carts are supposed to be tagged too?
Yep, golf carts.
And I
side by
did
sides,
see a golf cart.
ATVs.
I don't know whose it was. I've never seen it actually, when me and Case were coming home the other night. I think we were coming home from Stevens. I think it was on the 4th. But it was no lights, no nothing. You could barely see it going down Park Street. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I
I
think-
stopped an ATV not too long ago, for not having lights on it, so.
And I'm not trying to be
Yeah, no,
grumpy,
no, I understand.
everybody.
It's a safety
But,
issue.
but these kids that are on here, it just, you know what I'm saying? It takes one car to pull out. It takes one person. And I'm telling you, I don't care how hard you hold on to that child. You are not gonna hold on to that child. You know, and if they have to be in a car seat, you know, strapped in, then that needs to be the same, because I know in Inman, if they have those car thingies in Inman, they have to have the child restraints in to drive around Inman.
What percentage of drivers do you think are licensed drivers, just guessing off the top of your head, what you said?
Oh, I think the majority of them are licensed
Yeah, I think so
drivers.
too.
It's just a matter of they're not carrying insurance on there, and if something happens, who's
I just
liable?
really don't wanna go pick up somebody in the ditch.
Oh, me
I mean, he
either,
did do a fine wheelie, I will give him that. I mean, he rode it for a very long time, I was very impressed.
Mark, question here, is this, these whatever's wheeling around town, is there not an order, I mean, your child has to be restrained. If they're on a motorcycle, they have to have a helmet and eye
Yeah,
protection,
so
all those
helmets,
things would apply?
ATVs, that they have to have a helmet on. So motorcycle ATVs. I know with the golf carts, I don't believe there's anything in there regarding golf carts that have restraints or anything like that due to the fact of how slow they're going.
Okay,
But that's something that can be addressed and city could add into the ordinance for.
so there are some things with the bigger ones, not a golf cart.
Yeah, so like the helmet
obviously,
stuff with the ATVs and the motorcycles, that's a state law that anybody under the age of 18 has
That's
to
what I
have a
was
helmet.
thinking. And so we can enforce that
Yeah.
currently. It'll just be the golf carts that's gonna get us right now. So we'll have to create an ordinance for that.
Yes.
And to drive these things, they have to drive them, they have to have a valid driver's license and be insured, correct?
Yes.
I would say we need to start with reposting, make sure you've got your ATV, golf carts,
Yeah, 'cause I do know there's been a lot of new people moving in.
Yeah,
So they
maybe
don't just
price
outlook,
that.
so.
Right.
Get that out there.
Should there be an age limit on the kids that are riding on there too?
That would be a valid driver's license.
I know, but
To drive.
To
Drive.
drive.
I'm talking about the little kids.
Well, that's what we're discussing on
That's what
golf
we're
carts.
talking.
So
There
we'll have
is-
to,
Well, I mean on motorcycles too.
well, you're right, because I've seen somebody with a little kid sitting on the front of the four-wheeler.
You're
But that's where the state
You're not
comes
the only
in.
one. You're not the only one seeing it.
Yeah,
But that's where
exactly.
the state laws come in to where they have to have protection.
Mhm.
So those things are already in place that we can enforce now. So if Mark was to see a 2-year-old with no eye protection, helmet, riding on the front with mom or dad, he could enforce that.
Yeah.
So we do kind of have those. We might just have to modify a little bit in town, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Between about 4 and 10.
The way the state statutes and stuff work, so if we, there's a state statute on something, but we can add restrictions to it, we just can't take away restrictions to it.
I would say on our social media and website, get that stuff put back out there. And then we can review our ordinances.
Something that would also be nice is having some kind of like welcome packet. When people come and say, hey, I moved in, you can give them the top 5 most, like, nothing we've seen, but
They
that
had
doesn't mean.
something from like the churches would go like they
Yeah,
had a welcome packet, but there wasn't nothing regarding actual like
Okay.
city ordinances
Yeah.
or things like that.
We just need to put it out there though, then.
Yeah,
That
but
we're gonna-
anything that we put in the welcome packet, I put in part of the stuff that's the most issues that we have. So we don't have to put everything in there, it's just the primary stuff.
Because a lot of times people come in and I think, okay, what do you need to know if you just moved to town? I start with trash is on Wednesday.
You just had this the other day. and
Yeah.
you Could have asked that about it either.
I mean, all I would put in there for right now, because otherwise we're gonna keep adding to that list and
Right,
adding to
right,
the list.
right.
Okay, if you've got questions on the codes, go to the website.
We had talked about too at one of the beautification meetings about putting up something where, I don't know about space in here, but like here, or even I thought about like the post office having a place where stuff like that can be. Cause I know one of the things is like when people visit Canton, we don't have any, places like, to go that has like all that information.
It's
So,
like an information marquee.
yeah.
Cover. But then you're running the issue.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's a contained road,
Something
doorway.
simple, yeah, just put flyers in there, yeah.
Like that.
That's great, but I'm just gonna say.
It's
no.
not gonna be put on you guys.
I was
Okay,
gonna
I'm just
say,
gonna say, I'm just gonna say.
There's just not
Because I
enough
know-
time in the world.
Well, Cheryl's mom and them had all those for like out at the game preserve, out for different, maybe we could get different businesses to do a flyer for us. You know, everybody create a flyer for us.
We just printed a couple weeks ago some business stuff for Ag 360 that we're going into the Inman's Chamber of Commerce thing that you get when you sign up for utilities or you're new to town, they give you this packet and we just.
Another place it could be put is if we get somebody to take a look at our website and bring it up to speed, we could do a welcome section in there as well. Because our website is woefully outdated and it's a mess.
Right, yeah, we just got it.
Well, that's there right now, so we can keep moving
Yep,
on.
yep,
Everybody
yep.
come up with the
Thank
ideas
you,
and that.
Mark,
Next meeting,
for-
we
Yep.
talk about what all we want to get added to the website.
Okay.
'Cause otherwise, we're gonna go on
Yep,
and on
yep.
about this.
All right.
Next item, city employee
I'm
policy.
just gonna pass out a sheet that will show a breakdown of what we currently have and probably need to
Update.
update at some point. It's been 8 years. Yeah, some of it was.
Oh, that's very.
Right now, we've got a coverage of $36,000. And that's broke down between the mayor at 5,000, city clerk 25,000, treasurer 5,000, municipal judge 1,000. And the yearly premium is $126. No name is applied to the bond, just the position. And the last time we updated was 2016. So I think we need to add the city clerk assistant and probably need the attorney's blessing on what percentage we go up.
Blessing or recommendation.
Yeah.
Is law enforcement required to be bonded in this?
No.
Or is they're not, they're not?
What about counselors?
I know, I was thought we were gonna
No.
be left out.
Yeah, we should be.
For what?
What
We should be bonded each of them.
do we have to be?
Right?
Not aware of an affirmative obligation to be. I guess my question would be, what does the League of Municipalities recommend and levels of coverage? I mean, you see in the news, in Marion, a lot of officials, individual officials are being, have been named individually for alleged misdeeds. So, yeah, I think the League of Municipalities would be a good place to.
I just know everything I read, it's only those handling funds, city funds. So,
Is that all the bond covers, is anything financial, there's no liability aspect to it or anything?
that he didn't get into with me, but
Doesn't Tony, doesn't our insurance
yeah, he's,
cover all that?
yeah. That's who I got all this information from, but.
Yeah. Like if you were sued individually, that our insurance would cover.
Yeah, it should be a separate liability policy.
It's just food for thought. Doesn't need to be done immediately, but.
Well, I can call them.
That's all I had on that.
Okay, item number 10.
I didn't print the schedule, but it's on.
It's what?
I didn't print it from Excel.
What was it? Sorry.
I was to bring a schedule for pay periods and pay days, potentially for next year, to switch from bi-monthly to bi-weekly.
When are you wanting
What
to start?
salary you put that in?
Oh gosh, Aaron, I don't remember.
Give me a minute. We'll just look.
I'm sorry.
Payroll?
I had to actually start next year and then work backwards so that it would be on track. So I didn't end up with 23 paychecks or 29. That's something weird.
So you couldn't start it?
No, I can.
Oh.
I don't remember what I went to. I gave myself some leeway. I think it was like the beginning of September was when it would start because of how pay periods fall now and what they would switch to. I picked a spot where it seemed the most simple To switch.
Because some will
The
have
close-
three, like 3 pay periods, like sometimes Case has 3
Right.
pay